Hello, world. What the fuck is up? It's been a minute. If you're an OG listener and you're still here after me going off the technological grid again, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking around. Just to give a quick recap for my OG listeners and for anybody that's new listening, this will also make sense for you guys. If you're new, though, welcome to the healing journey. It's a fucking party, and I'm so glad that you're here. I started this podcast in the beginning of 2021, and it was seriously a dream come true. When I was a little kid, I received a tape recorder as a gift one year, and I pretended that I was a host on a radio show. I would go around and interview family members and stuff, and then I wanted to be interviewed and talk about myself because, who doesn't? So this is pretty damn aligned now being a host on my very own podcast. When I started creating Light with Kelsey, I was not necessarily in the best place to be keeping up with it. I was releasing episodes twice a week, and then it started to fizzle out and go down to once a week. And then by the end of 2021, I completely stopped recording and I went off grid again, which if you already know a bit of my story, you'll know that in 2020, I went off grid completely. I had just moved to Florida. I moved away from all of my family and friends. I deactivated all of my social media. It wasn't just I deleted it or I took it off my phone or blah, blah, blah. No, those accounts don't exist anymore. So no one could get in contact with me unless you had my phone number already. And then I decided to release this podcast after I did all of those things, and I only told a handful of people about it. Then, I took it down about 6 months ago and have still been pretty underground. When you listen to the Get to Know Your Podcast Host episodes, I will be sharing my story differently this time. I'm no longer hiding my truth or trying to be delicate with the way that I deliver my message. In 2021, I was still regaining my voice and doing a damn good job of it, but I definitely was not doing my story justice. I finally arrived to break the silence, which I am so grateful for because it then better equips me to guide the collective to do the same. Now it's time to be seen. The hermit phase of my healing journey for now has been completed. I'm sure that there will be other hermit phases, but I'm coming up to the last year of my Saturn return and I have completely changed my life and I am now in radical alignment. So yeah, I just had a lot going on in the last, year to, I don't know we want to get technical 7, but 2021, the end of that. And then so far 2022, there was just a lot of trauma clearing going on to where the podcast was not the priority. But now I'm so fucking excited to be back. I've learned the necessary lessons that my soul needed from the beginning of 2021 to now. And I'm grateful for the foundation of healing that I had already created for myself being on this healing journey since technically 2014, and then trauma happened, and then we kind of came back around and started doing the trauma clearing in 2017. But the foundation for this current reality that I am now existing in is set. I am free and I am now equipped to show the fuck up. I have so much juicy information to give the world. Creating Light with Kelsey is about giving people the courage to feel their darkness so they can rediscover their light. The light that we all have within us, the light that never left, the light that will never die. Because we can only create light when we choose to feel the darkness. Feeling really is the key to freedom. I'm here to help the collective become free of the illusions that darkness is something to negate or fear, the illusion that once a person has experienced trauma, they can never recover, the illusion that darkness snuffs out the light, and the illusion that we all can't be free from our trauma. Lies, all fucking lies, illusions that I'm here to break. Light and dark exist on Earth, but once we pull back the veil and realize it's all a game, a divine plan to elevate human consciousness, you can then learn to play the game. You realize that light and dark have the same agenda, bringing people back to love, back to themselves. The lessons are the same. The delivery is just different. Listen to trauma survivors who are on the other side. They will tell you that they would not change the time that they were experiencing the dark because it created who they are today. Their soul needed those lessons, and I am one of those people. The light that radiates within me would not have been exposed if I did not live in the darkness to then learn those lessons that the dark provided, to be cracked open and actually let the light fucking come out. Once you get to a place of awareness in your healing journey, you learn that you then get to choose to create light or to create dark. Avoiding your darkness, the trauma you survived, is avoiding your true self, your light. The darkness then starts to unconsciously rule you, and this is the type of unconsciousness is what fuels the perpetuation of the darkness that some people are actually consciously creating. So reach that point of awareness because I will help you get there because you get to choose what reality to live in, of the light or of the dark. We all have the power and the wisdom within to create light. And I can already hear some ego rebuttaling statements and questions in my head right now of how the fuck can you create light when you're living in the dark still? Or how can you get back to that point of this is serving you, or this is the lesson, or why would I be fucking grateful for my trauma, or my trauma created me this way and now I am anxious, afraid, depressed, paranoid, all those things. Yeah, that I'm telling you, that can be turned around when you face the darkness to learn from it and let it go, accept it, grieve, let it go. That is when you are then on the other side of the healing, for the most part, to have that perspective. When you're reached into the depths and crawled back out, you can, from that point of the wisdom of learning in that moment, those moments of being in the depths, you realize that you have the power of choice. You get to choose. You get to choose to make different decisions little by little to create a different reality and to get you out of a situation to have a different life. And then once you're out of the situation, you get to choose to heal. So you no longer unconsciously attract the life of trauma that you're used to or that you grew up in, therefore perpetuating the generational trauma where shit doesn't change. You actually have the power to create change and create light from that instead of avoiding it, which is then continuing to create the darkness that you actually hate living in. But how the fuck do we do that? How do we get there? How do we face our darkness to create light? Hello, friends. That's where I come in. Healing trauma through art therapy, sexuality, and spirituality. These are the profound ways to take you where you need to go. On this podcast, I'll be sharing my personal experiences, my education, research, and channeled information in regard to those three concepts. And I'll be generating the conversations that it's fucking time to have. The conversations to ignite your curiosity, to start peeling back those layers of conditioning. Through the Creating Light with Kelsey podcast, I will be offering basic tools, education, and free self-growth exercises so that you can try on your own. But I also offer one-on-one work in person and online. I offer virtual and in-person support groups and energy healing, and I offer workbooks. So I am here to serve in many ways at various investment rates. I'm showing the fuck up. Do you feel called to do the same? If you are here, my guess is you are you're ready for a change, to embody a different mindset, fully heal at the root, at the core, and no longer take the shit that you've gone through with you. Transmute it into light, transmute it into lessons and the foundation of that you get to stand on now to thrive instead of it being a weight holding you fucking down. Because we over that. We are so over that. We're done. And trauma doesn't have to be that anymore. It can be your launch pad. It doesn't have to be fucking chains holding you back in a lower frequency. Well, there you have it. There is my first episode back into the podcasting world. I mean, we just fucking went in it. Just a nice little teaser for you for how this is now going to be ran and how I will be showing up these days. If you're feeling the calling, subscribe to Creating Light with Kelsey, listen to the podcast episodes, leave a review, share it with someone, visit my website, subscribe to the email list, and you can get a free gift. Check out my services and get on my schedule if you feel called. And you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Everything is listed in the show notes. Let's fucking go. It's time. We no longer have to live in darkness, my friends. We get to be in the light because at our core, that is who we have always been.